Hello, we're back. And this
What's
is
going
Madeline
on?
Bass. Yes.
This is Quincy Senior is on the camera.
That's what's up, y'all. So y'all, I'm trying to be all high tech. Like I got two cameras. So
Baby, soon as a man out with not a baby. You know he died, but he rose up. Now lift his name up. His name's Emmanuel. I swear no hell won't even touch it. That's the end of discussion. I wanna know his name. Let my life be show and tell, so you can tell I know one well.
I'm trying to make it happen for
Okay.
y'all while we're in this lockdown, lock around, whatever we want to do. Okay, part two. So real with
Absolutely.
Madeline, keeping it real daily, creating greater lifestyles by changing your status and raising our standards. So
Reason standards.
money talking where we left off. So
Yeah, yeah.
what's something that we will start off with? Maybe somebody said, why didn't y'all talk about this? Or maybe you wanted to talk about something else. What was something you wish you'd have said?
Like we talked about on our after party show, from the Soul Blog, So Real with Madeline. Um, the in depthness of, like I said, we're gonna get into the in depth of the credit card usage.
Mm-hmm.
How that can be a benefit. Are there any negatives to the credit card benefit? Why we are saying use credit rather than um, depending on money, letting money work. Because the job is to let money work for you. Um, I have a saying that my job in the world is to work so hard that I work less. Um, I don't know anybody. If you could do the same job you do right now currently and get paid the same, right? But work less, wouldn't you do it? So that's what it is letting your money work for you. And so what I'm going to do this time go around is I'm going to give you some actual figures at the bottom of our screen so you can look down right now and look at figures and numbers of investments. And mom, you can kind of vouch for this. So let's go in depth on how the credit card can be a pro. Are you down with that? Can we do that first? Okay. So Capital One, I promise you we don't get paid for this, but we just say what we use. Me and my
So
mom have
we need to
had,
send us a check.
man, come on. Come on. People say don't promote for free, but hey, if something works for you, I'm sorry, it
Yeah,
works for me. Um,
we do it every day.
we do it every day. So um one of the things that I do is, let's just say, I like how my mom said, we use it for an example, is I think most credit cards start you off at maybe, let's say, 800 to $1,000. That's on the high end. So 800 to $1,000 with mediocre credit, right? Most credit cards have what is called a cashback program or a cashback incentive, to where if you spend a certain amount of money, you get 1 to 2% back. That's regardless of what you spend. You're getting 1 to 2% back for each purchase that you use. Now, stay with me. Let's pretend you make on average $1,500 a month. Your bills equate to $1,000 a month, right? What we are saying is those bills that can be paid via credit card, those $300 to $400 monthly bills that you use, or car note, stuff like that, use that, use your credit card to pay that amount. Once it stops pending, you're going to receive a 2 to 1% back, cash value back on what you spent. Now, it may be only $2, it may be $3, $4, whatever. The point is, that's $3 or $4 that you didn't have before, that if you steward it rightly and you pay the credit card off before the interest hit, that is more money that is going into your pocket. And you didn't do nothing but be responsible. Now, here's the con to this. Here's why I say you have to be responsible. because let's pretend you don't pay off the credit card. You take the $2 to $3 to $4, right? Then there's what you did was totally, utterly superfluous, because now you just paid, let's just say you $300 to $400. Now you got almost $5 to $6 in interest. And the credit card company depends on you not paying off the credit card. So what they're doing is what they have used, what they mean for harm, they're saying, okay, we're going to give you a 1 to 2% cash back on this, in hopes that the consistency is that most people don't pay the credit card off. So even though they're giving you $3, they're making $6, $7 off of you because you didn't pay your credit card off. Or more, exactly. And this is just me being friendly. These are friendly, what I call friendly guesstimates, friendly numbers. Usually what I'm saying is going to be a lot worse. And so how they make money off of you is the consistency. This is why you got to be careful in promoting the postpaid way of doing it, because it may not fit your lifestyle. Now, I'm going to let my mom talk about the prepaid way of living, because that's how my mom lived. My mom was a prepaid. She got her checks. She budgeted. She said, okay, this is what's going where, A, B, C, and D. But the postpaid way of living is something that a lot of people can do if you have discipline. Now, if you're someone who forgets, you procrastinate, postpaid way of living is not for you. I discovered that postpaid way of living is not for Quincy. I can only do it sporadically. So that means, like, let's just say I got a lawnmower set that I want to buy, right? And it's like $600. I'll swipe my credit card, because what I know is, okay, this was the same $600 that I was going to spend anyway out of my checking account. So what I'll do is, once it immediately hits, I'll say, hey, baby, don't spend this. We technically don't have this much in the account. I got to pay my credit card off. That's $10 I just paid myself right there, just for having a little bit of accountability. But Mom, what do you think about that? Do you like that? Do you think there's some cons to that? What do you think about the postpaid way of living?
Well, I'm on a limited budget, as y'all know, and y'all, it's hard not to move. But
you can move, Mom. I've been moving a lot. You can move.
Yeah. Okay. What's happening is, with me, whenever I get paid, I take all my bills and I get money orders, or if I have auto pay, I go in and do everything that I need to do for my bills when I get paid. Everything. Doesn't matter. If I got $1 left, $2 left, don't matter. But as long as all of my bills around the house are paid, then I'm good. So that, for me, is the best thing for me. Now, I do have 2 credit cards that I keep at a minimum, but I pay a bill, like my light bill or my internet, with that credit card, because those are one of the higher bills that I have. And so I let that pay automatically. And then when I get my money, I pay that card. And then that still leaves me balances. But unfortunately, this card that I use, it doesn't have a cash back, but I've had it forever. And it's still good standing. It's still a good status on my credit. And like Quincy said, my Capital One, I throw money into my savings account and I don't look at it. Like, I just keep throwing that money over there. And there is a interest that they give on your balance every month. So every month, that amount is going to change, because your balance is going to grow. Okay.
Right.
So as your balance is growing, that 1, 2, 3, 5, whatever your percent interest is going to be the interest of your balance. Okay.
Right.
So I need y'all to understand how that works. Now, I do have, like I said, I have limited funds simply because of my disability. So that was what works for me. Okay. So paying my bills out right up top, tithes, that should go without saying, but I have to let y'all know I'm a tither. I believe
You
in
know,
tithing. I just believe
yes,
God
sir.
has kept me this long and this far.
You know,
Even in the season that we're in, you guys, we're locked
right,
up. We can't go anywhere. You're not supposed to be going anywhere. You're not supposed to be getting in and out. This
right,
is important. And this is the time, actually, to give you a chance to discipline yourself on your spending. Okay.
right,
So even you're going. So they say if you
right.
do something for 21 days, it becomes a habit.
That's
So we
true.
already in day 30,
Yeah,
35, supposedly. Those of you who don't have to go to work or maybe even lost your job, this is a
right.
time for you to start practicing some of those things and watching your bank account and doing some research on if there's savings, what's the interest. If you have some investments, check on it. Call your
That's true.
financial advisor. We're going to have Aaron Conrad is going to be with us next week. We're going to put a show together and try to see if we can
Right.
get her on Zoom with us so you guys can ask questions. So be ready to be on that episode. So
Thanks.
that, and I'm going to try to fix it. That's why I'm trying to do 2 devices so that I can watch for questions in Facebook or wherever there is.
We may have to. We may have
Get
to
those
IG
answers.
live that one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But those are some things that I do. Like I said, we got 2 perspectives. I'm on the 50 plus side, disabled, even though I'm not retired. I'm glad that I had some knowledge and some things in place
Right.
for even the season that we're in. Like, had I not even gotten sick, like this season showed up, I still wouldn't have been ready. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So we
Right.
need you to prep because life don't care and stuff don't happen. And I got bill collectors calling like, hey,
Right.
are you going to make this payment this month? Yeah, because when this is over with, I need my life to be right. I don't want to go in having to chase myself. But I hope that helps somebody. It's been a rough couple of days, y'all. My mom's had surgery and they got her at the hospital and we can't be there. So
Can't be there.
This is stressful
And
for me. Yeah.
it's
So
stressful on all parts. It's not helping at all. And the thing is, this goes all the way back down to what people are going to be what.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is very family centric. Like it's nothing. I was trying to contact her about the show and things like that, and this was not rude. I'm gonna be real. This was not rude on my mom's part. She didn't even respond back to me because she was so focused on her mother. Like that's what took precedence. And that the reason I went back to that is things that matter in your life that you decide that need to matter. Make sure they always matter. Don't apologize for it. Even if because people are going to always state their opinion, whether you ask for someone's opinion or not. This is a very entitled world we live in nowadays. So like when my mom says she's a toddler, that's why I amen her because I tithe. But don't get on here saying that you don't believe in tithing and etc. That's fine. Say it, but we're not going to respond. But I mean, even if you say, I'm just letting you know you're not going to get a response because we're just simply saying that works for us. If people ask us what we do, tithing is a part of it. If people ask us what we do, serving is a part of it. You can say with pushovers, you can say this is what we do. And we don't apologize for it. My mom has a way of living and she does not apologize for it. That's what people love and respect about her. So I just had to go in and key in off that, and because this ties into it's a lifestyle. We're trying to create better lifestyles, and one of those things I want to talk to you about is you're going to have confidence.
Yes.
I talked about this briefly on my story, and it's a sad time we live in where people mistake confidence for pride, and it's not the same thing. And the things that you do, the things that work for you, you're going to have to walk in a certain level of confidence, knowing that I am confident in my ability to work and do what I want to do and to complete what I want to complete. if my mom wouldn't have had a certain level of confidence about her, and you know what's crazy, Mama, is I believe that's why a lot of people took for granted how sick you were, because they wanted my mom, like my mom would be like, I'm sick, and look just like this. And it's like, well, you don't look sick. Because my mom never believed in, there's a scripture that says whenever you're fasting, right? It says to put oils on your face and basically not have the appearance of grumbling like, oh, I'm so hungry, or, oh, I'm so tired. My mom embedded that in me as a lifestyle, not just with fasting. She's like, Quincy, make sure that you don't look like your God is not working in your behalf. Exactly. You need to always look like, man, I'm representing the Most High. Just like Job had sores all over his body. He got to a point where Lucifer took his kids, had his wife speaking to him crazy, but Job was still like, praise you, Lord. And that's you're going to have that mentality when you're changing your lifestyle. When we're having conversations about, I like my mom said, that's how she has to live. There's a prepaid way of living, there's a postpaid way of living, and there's somewhere in between. That's fine. But what we're saying is do what works for you. Don't make silly choices and decisions. Everything that you do needs to be building towards making a better person, or making a better lifestyle, and making a better and creating legacy for going on in the future.
Yeah, that's true. And legacy is, I know y'all hear us say this a lot, but it is so key. Legacy is for people to be able to live in it now. You know, you see what's going on right now, and because people are not handling their legacy, the inheritance, this is the issue. And so you got people who are dying from this, and they can't even have a funeral. Nope. But for those who were prepared, kind of a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You don't have to pay for no services and all that extra. You just gonna have the funeral home gonna handle it. Y'all gonna go to the graveside. Y'all gonna have to have y'all social distancing, and that's it.
This is
feeding folks. You know,
right. This is times getting real, man.
Programs and all that extra. You know, but just, I mean, it's a good and bad, and I'm not saying that's a good, but for people who are not prepared, it's a good, you know, because then y'all don't have to be stressed because you couldn't afford the funeral no way because that person didn't handle their business with life insurance.
It's sad. It's not being insensitive, because we're being sensitive towards
the real talking.
The thing is, guys, that this is a reality. And I've seen a post and I shared it. It basically said, if you are not using this time right now to literally shift some things in your life that shouldn't be, to rebuild some habits in yourself that shouldn't have been there. Like during this quarantine, I'll share one of them. Me and my wife have made working out a habit, y'all. We work out 5 days a week and rest 2 days. And it is a habit. And I am so proud of my wife, because honestly, it just showed me too as well, that if I started doing something, it bleeds down to my wife. And now my wife shows,
see little man,
he doing sit-ups now. And it just goes to show that men, you are a leader, whether you want to be or not. You have a responsibility to be a provider. And I say it all, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna wear it out. You have a responsibility to your household, not only mentally, not only physically, but spiritually.
Yes.
You gotta lead your household. And sometimes that means doing the things that a lot of people don't want to do. It means doing things that you're not gonna want to do, because what other people may need may have nothing to do with you. And it's got to start with you. And then finances is one of them.
I was watching this clip on the subconscious mind, and it was so, oh my gosh, I couldn't stop watching it, because he was saying some things that was just, you could see it. So like as a child, when the baby is born, you got a mom who's feeding, or the dad, whoever's feeding that child, they're bonding, like right then. That's why it's important for the infant to know. That's how they know who their parents are. Because, and like you were talking about impressions with the birds.
Yes.
The same thing with the infant and the kids. They're watching their parents. So I tell folks all the time, if you want to know what your kids gonna be like when they grow up, look at y'all.
Thanks.
The mama and the daddy, whoever is raising that child, those kids, it's in their subconscious. So the way they handle things, even if it hasn't happened yet, y'all just gonna have to work with me. My health is like teeter-tottering, but the way that they handle things is gonna come out later. They're gonna respond the way they saw you respond, no matter how hard they say. I ain't gonna be like my mom. I ain't gonna be like my dad.
They are.
I'm gonna be like, it's something that you gotta pray through, and you gotta make a decision in a relationship with God to say, help me not be that way. You know, and it is you can see it. The pattern is just what they call them generational curses. It's a pattern. That's what that is. So be mindful of what you're doing, how you spend your money. When income tax come, I know I'm not supposed to say this word, but I hate when parents or people post kids, how they look before income tax and how they look after income tax. And when they get it, you know, they blinged out, they got their name brand, their hair all stuff. And then when the money is gone, the kids are back to no shoes at all, you know, hair ain't combed, looking all rough and raggedy. You know, they call them those income tax calls. They have the cars for 3 to 4 months. They go to those tote-no places. Then they can't pay the note because they didn't manage their money. So these are things, this is why we're having this conversation, this real talk time, because we need to change that. And this is the time, because y'all getting this money now and you can't spend it. The stores are closed, the clubs are closed, the sports can't get to no
good point. That's
you
a
can't
good
get
point,
to none
Mama.
of these places. You know,
wow.
Even some of these NBAs and NFLs or whatever, they got to pay some of their payback.
Wow, because you can't gamble right now.
No, the NFL, like the players, they're having to give some of their money back because they're not playing.
Oh, the NBA players?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Some of their money has to go back in the pot. But if they spend their money as fast as they get it, they haven't been investing in it, they haven't been creating some type of retirement, you know, y'all, that's still important. You making all this money and you don't have no cushion, you know, and they get to talking about us when I don't want to pay $300 for a bag or $1,200 for some shoes, you know, don't hate on me. I'm living in my means. You know what I'm saying? So all my stuff in my house is paid for. Everything.
You better preach.
Furniture.
You better preach.
Appliances. You know, like everything in here is mine.
When you own stuff, that's when you're rich. Sorry. Exactly. Point blank period. I'm sorry. When you own stuff, that's when you're rich. The job, the goal should be to eliminate as many monthly bills as possible to own stuff. I mean, and that's the thing. Whatever you got to do to get to that point within legal means to do it, do it. If your goal is to, I know some people who they don't even own cars. They lease cars because honestly, they stay within and some people in here and see, I listen to a guy and it works for them. They literally stay in town. They don't travel. And so I never looked at it like this, but he broke down oil changes,
Yep.
tire change and
Expenses.
stuff like that. And it ended up being cheaper for him to lease a car. And I was like, man, that's crazy. So I looked at my
is it an older gentleman?
Yeah. Well, no. Sorry, he's older than me, but he's not. I don't want to be.
No, I said is it an older gentleman? Yeah, not old.
What do you mean by
not
old?
Like my age even? You know, in 40s.
He's maybe in his 30s. He's in his 30s.
But that's still good. That's still good because that means if he can lease, his credit is not that bad. His credit is
excellent. But that's what I'm saying. I talk to people, but it's funny how when I have conversations about people's credit journeys, I haven't heard one alike yet. And and the thing is, the leasing thing didn't work for me because of how. And I said that I don't have the credit to lease. It's just how much I travel. I got family who's in Texas. I got sometimes we love, me and my wife we love when we get back to normalcy.
Right.
And we love going to Tulsa to take our kids to do little fun things, and then our date nights are movies. We love going to the movies. But I brought that point up to say, like, man, there is no set. There is no set. How am I trying to say it, Mama? There's going to be 400 or 500 different reasons to budget.
There's no etched in stone way.
Just like there's no etched in stone. I was just talking to my mother-in-law. We had a great conversation. There's no set in stone way to raise kids. There's no rule book on how to raise kids because kids are different. Now, God gives you the foundation,
a guideline,
a guideline, but there's no ABC. Okay, now that you've done this, put the kids in the bed. There is no book like that.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree with her when she said that. But outside of spare the rod, sport a child, outside of handle your kids with gentleness and handle your wife with gentleness, there is no rule book. Notice that when they teach them of old, there's rule book for teenagers, for men, even women, but there is no rule book for kids. They only tell the kids to honor their mother and father. That's deep. So that means that it's up to you to get to know that child to figure out what they need to do.
And those parents honor the Lord.
Yes, and I'm gonna close with this, and then I'm gonna let you have the last minute. But train up a child the way they should go and never depart. How do you know how to train that child if you're not paying attention to that child? It's your job to look at that child and say, okay, well, the baby may want to play basketball, but if you buy him a basketball and little Jimmy ain't making no shots, you may need to deviate your child.
You can play, baby. If you make the team, water ball.
I'm gonna say it. You need to deviate. Everybody not finna play no basketball. Now, all jokes aside, let's just say your son is he reading books and he likes talking to people, counseling. Try that. But yeah, Mama, go ahead.
A teacher, there's a lot of things.
Facts.
Coach, like even like now, you coaching people. You can get a license to coach, be a life coach for people on any area, science, whatever, history. You can be tutor right now. Hello.
Facts.
LeBron James looking for online teachers. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, I'm just saying.
I respect that man more off the court than I do on the court. But anyway.
Hey, you got to find your way. You got to find your path. He's good he can play ball. He can play. But he's taking that money from that gift and he's creating opportunity.
One of the best basketball IQs I've ever seen. But go ahead.
But you guys, thank y'all for joining us. I hope that it was helpful. Like I said, this is conversations we have, and we talking to each other. We're just letting y'all listen in. So if you don't agree, we don't need to hear it. We're not gonna reply. We're not here to create arguments and fights, debate on whether you agree or not. That's fine. And like we say, everybody deal with it different. But if your money funny all the time, you might need to look at that and do some things differently. Don't have to do what we doing, but you're gonna have to eventually do something different.
Re-look at some things. But
exactly. All right, y'all. We went over our time. Quincy, if you could give us like a 1-minute encouragement, and we're gonna go ahead and end out today.
Absolutely. So I will end on what I shared with my Eastside Baptist Church family. Um, and that is just make sure in this season of time that you're serving. Please make sure. I know I've already reiterated that, but if I could just say it again, Jesus spent most of his time, if not all of his time on this earth, serving. And notice that he went through different seasons. He went through all the seasons. So that means there's never a season where we need to stop serving and loving and looking out for one another. Serving requires sacrifice.
It does. I would
Quote
say
me.
salvation is free. It's the lifestyle that's the
That's gonna
sacrifice.
cost you. There you come on, mama, preach, girl.
Yes, because Jesus is a prime example. You know, cost him everything, but he's got offered to you for free because that's our inheritance. That's the gift he left for us to be able to live a life, you know. But he lived a leadership role.
Come on.
For everybody. Okay. So I love y'all. We said all of this in love. We really have, but we just want you to have some positive outcome in this situation. Y'all we're gonna keep my mom lifted in prayer, keep her covered, because that hospital wasn't playing. They said first one person could be in there every day, like one day. But before she got out of surgery, they were like, you can come for 5 minutes, everybody's out. If you're not a patient, you gotta go. And so I don't blame them. I'm not mad at them, but it put my nerve level on 10.
10, I know, because I get all them edges.
I was like, you think I'm gonna leave my mama here by herself?
Crazy.
But you gotta trust the Lord. You gotta trust God. You gotta trust God's gonna keep her covered. And she's actually doing better than I thought she was. She got her big girl panties on. She's doing good. All right, Quincy, I love you. And
love you.
This has been So Real with Madelyn, Mother and Son Real Talk, Money Talk Part 2. And we're keeping it real daily, creating greater lifestyles, changing our status, raising our standards in Christ. Always. Madelyn Bass, and I'm with
Quincy Howard Sr.
Have a great day, you guys.
All
Till
right.
next time.
Yeah.